The sounds of football were in the air last night in Splendora as the Wildcats hosted the Needville Blue Jays for their first scrimmage of the season. Tony caught up with head coach Marcus Shulz to discuss starting football in the times of COVID, takeaways from the scrimmage, and the Wildcats' first game next week against Chapel Hill, where the Wildcats' offensive coordinator's brother is the head coach.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think everybody has been on pins and needles and anticipation of, are we going to have the season, not going to have the season, how's it going to look? And I think, you were there last night, so I think you can see that everybody was fired up. We had some fans in the stands, and, people were, of course, socially distancing and doing those things, but I think for the most part, everybody's just excited to get back out on the field and get back to action. So, I think we were excited. I know our kids were excited to finally change a little helmet thing with somebody else.
You need improvement.
Well, there's definitely a lot of lights. I definitely saw that our kids are ready and rise to the occasion. If you look on paper, we shouldn't be competing or going toe-to-toe with Needville just based on, the kids they had coming back and the season they had last year. But I think our kids definitely showed that, they've got a lot of fight in them, and we got after the tail a little bit, and, they got a great team. Coach Giles does a great job over there, but, I think, Jagger Kennedy had a great game at quarterback. I think him and Harrison Facundo threw some good balls as well. I thought our running back, all three of our running backs were phenomenal. I think we rushed for 296 yards on the night, and that was the three, and that was only basically with limited action and only a live 1/4 of live action. So I think we had over 410 yards. But, I think that those three, Andrew Hernandez, Zane Oberdon, and Brandon Harris had a great night. I thought defensively we played very well. I thought our kids went hard. Austin Elliott, our center, had to handle the kid that's the Rice commit from Needville, a big 75, and, I thought he did a great job, and they ended up moving 75 out to the defensive tackle and trying to get him to get off the ball a little bit better. So, I thought there was a lot of bright spots. I think that we are out of shape, so I think that's one thing that, we've got to still get into playing shape, and, it's hard to do that without playing games. So you kind of got to simulate that during practice, so we've got to do a better job as a coaching staff. I think that there were a few times offensively and defensively that we misaligned, and I know defensively for sure there's a couple poor angles that we took that allowed some balls to get over our head in the secondary. That definitely correctable mistakes and things that we can work on that they're going to be able to be fixed.
How about you open the season next week against?
You know what? It's going to be a fun game. There's been some text messages and phone calls already being shot back and forth this morning and last night, and it's going over there to play Coach Reardon. We know we're going to get a very good quality team. They've got athletes over there, and we know that we're going to have to contain and do a good job. Their quarterback is a kid that has moved back into the district, and so watching him on film this morning, we're definitely going to have to do a good job of containing him and not letting him loose. But my offensive coordinator, of course, is Coach Reardon, just the head coach over at Chapel Hill's little brother. So Matt is excited and ready to. He's never sat on the other side of the sideline. He's been on his sideline his whole career, and so being on the opposite sideline and trying to pick him apart is going to be fun.